everybody. So, I don't know if you guys know this about me. I probably talk about it too much. I don't know. I've got a lot of income streams and I'm a generator in the human design. I don't know if you guys know what human design is. It's a little woo woo for somebody that's so into AI, but it's basically this thing that you go and you enter in your information. It gives you like a chart that tells you what type of personality you are. I'm a generator. So, I've got this thing where I constantly have creative ideas. Like I'm always building things, creating new things. And one of the things I do is sometimes I get hooked on an idea and I can't sleep. Like I just stay up all night and it's like I have to create. And that used to take me a long time to do that. There is a website. It's called Manus, MANUS.IM/app. It's a super smart AI. So they do have a free version where they give you, I think it's like 3,000 credits or something that you can go and play with it. And then, of course, they have a monthly fee. All of these things have monthly fees after that. I used a free version for this. So I had this idea of, the world of income streams. It's called like a high ticket offer. So it's like I've got the clinical AI club. I've got a lot of little freebies. I do a ton of coaching. I'm helping therapists every day build their own GPTs that help them run their businesses more smoothly or even their life, depending on what they're trying to do. If they're trying to build new offers or just organize their life better, I help them privately build GPTs. So I've got that kind of little thing, but what keeps coming up is the people that I'm helping build GPTs keep coming back and saying, that GPT is awesome, but I want to build like 10 more to help me with this, 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 and this. So of course, my generator brain, I'm like, I've got to create like a container to offer this to people. And of course, I couldn't sleep. So I was just so excited about it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to use Manus because part of what stops me and probably stops you too, if you have ideas about doing other income streams or scaling your private practice, is a text. And it's like, okay, I've got the idea, but how do I put it on my website? How do I make a funnel for people to be able to buy this thing? Like that gets a lot of people stuck unless you have somebody to help you do it. But even then, you can have the idea, but then you've got to wait. It's like, well, we've got all these other things we're already working on. So anyway, I was like, I'm going to see if AI can help me just do this whole thing by myself. So what I did is I went to manus.im after I was in ChatGPT messing around saying, this is the offer. This is what people are asking me for. I want to create this, like, you call it high ticket, but like, it's like a more expensive package, basically coaching package, but it's got a ton of value. So I was like, help me create it. So me and ChatGPT created this perfect offer. It's like, this is amazing. And I'm going to tell you what it's called. So let's go to my website. So it's at clinicalaiclub.com. And if you go there, it's called the AI powered private practice intensive. So what I did is I went over to Manus and I said, here's my current website. So I copied the link to my website. I put it in and I said, here's this new page that I want to put on my website. I dropped all the content from ChatGPT. I dropped the website from my current website. And I said, I need to make a new page on my website that reflects this offer. Here's some pictures of me. Here's, the color scheme that I'm already using on my website. Although it picked it up on its own. I didn't even have to tell it that actually, because later it was saying these are actually the colors. Like it even corrected me. So I told it, this is what I want to offer. I need buttons. I need it to be able to like check out or like to offer a funnel so they can actually purchase the product. And I want to make it into a website page. My website is on WordPress. I knew nothing about WordPress. I said all of this to Manus. And I said, here's the content of the offer, copy from ChatGPT, the one I perfected with ChatGPT, posted it over into Manus, and I hit enter. And this thing thought it even tells you how long it thinks and tells you the thought process that it's going through. And I think it said it was 8 minutes and 13 seconds or something. And it spits out the HTML code, the CSS code, which I didn't even know what that was until this thing told me what it was. It's like the code that makes the HTML pretty. It spit all of that out. It showed me a prototype, so I could literally click through to the output of the prototype of the page. I clicked through it. I was like, this is what it looks like. And it's like, do you want to make any edits? I was like, no, it looks perfect to me. So I clicked through, and then it also included step-by-step instructions on how to go to my WordPress site, it asked for a screenshot. I showed it the back end of my WordPress. It says, looks like you're using Elementor and Oxygen on your WordPress site. Here's the step-by-step instructions on how to add all of this to make a new page on your website. I followed the instructions step-by-step, copied and pasted the HTML, the CSS into my website, made a new page based on these instructions. And now if you go to my website, clinicalaiclub.com, and click on the page tab, like I didn't even know how to make a new page on a website, click on the page tab, the AI-powered private practice intensive. If you look at this was created with Manus, all with the exception of that header picture that you'll see on there. It's like an AI image of me. I actually went into Canva and made that with Canva's new AI, which is a whole other level of just incredible stuff that I'm going to actually be doing in the Clinical AI Club next month. I'm going to do a whole month's module on Canva and the new AI tools. It made this entire website for me. And then I was like, okay, now I want to make this application based, which was ChatGPT's suggestion. I went back and forth and I said, should I just have like a checkout button or should I make it application based? And ChatGPT was like, well, you want to make sure you have people that are really ready for this level of support and this level of AI to implement into their lives. I was like, you're right. So it created basically the outline for a Google form. If you guys have ever used Google Forms, they're great because, you can make surveys, you can make quizzes, you can do all kinds of stuff, but they're super tedious. Like if you use simple practices in EHR, there's ways to build forms in there, but it's like really tedious because you have to do each line and you have to say, this is the short answer, this is the long answer, this is like radial buttons that you can do multiple choice. Like you have to do all of that. And you have to do that with these Google Forms too, to build like a really great form. It's very time consuming. But here's what happened. I have Gemini enabled in my Google suite. I guess you would call it in my Google suite. I've got Gemini enabled. So when I popped over to create a new form in Gemini, a little box came up and said, do you want AI to help you make this form? I was like, absolutely. So I copied and pasted the outline for the form, which was like multiple choice, short answer, radial buttons, long answer, select email address, all of that. Copied it, pasted it into the AI, the Gemini AI on Google. And instantly I clicked the button, it created a form perfectly. All of the boxes worked. It was done, literally done in like 3 seconds based on this outline and then dropping it over there and using Google's AI. So all told, this brand new offer, I mean, it probably took me like 4 hours, like from conception with ChatGPT, like what I was trying to do, putting into Manus, figuring out how to do WordPress, because I'm really bad with that stuff. I don't know how to do WordPress. Putting the CSS in, the HTML, and then hitting save. And then I did go to Canva and I used Canva's AI to make a really cool graphic across the top. And that's it. That is literally what I did, which totally blows my mind. You guys go look at this page. I mean, I don't think it's amazing, but it definitely looks like a professional website designer built this page for me. And, I'm super excited about it because even in the AI club, a lot of people will say to me, like, I had somebody last week, she was like, I don't know how to do a website. I don't know how to pay somebody to do a website. This is a solution. This Manus, I mean, I think it's $39 a month, but I literally did all of this for free just using the free credits. I didn't even pay for it. Basically, it's a way to build a website. And this is really a game changer, especially for brand new therapists in private practice. I'll probably do a whole module on this in the Clinical AI Club because it was so freaking easy. You could do it for anything. Squarespace, I think a lot of people like to use Squarespace. And literally, this thing just writes the perfect code for you. You tell it what you want it to do. You want it to have buttons. You want it to be this type of style. It literally matched my style. So if you know somebody else, not that we're copying, but if you know somebody else that has a really great website and you already know you want it to kind of like emulate that style, you could literally go over, copy that link and tell this Manus.im to emulate that style. Basically, give it all the content from ChatGPT. Like I wanted to have this, I wanted to have what my specialty is. I wanted to have copy that relates to my ideal client, that attracts my ideal client, all of that stuff, put it into Manus and it's going to make this website for you like so easy. And say I'm using WordPress or whatever. It's incredible. And it walks you through. Let's say you don't even have a WordPress site yet, or you don't know how to buy a domain name or anything like that, because all that comes along with it. But you just put it into ChatGPT or this Manus and it's going to tell you how to do all of that step by step. And I was telling my business manager about this right before I hopped on, and she was like, you're going to put me out of a job. And I was like, I know this, but I was like, also, it's good for you because if you know how to do all of this stuff with AI, like it's going to make her life a lot easier too. She's going to have more time and more freedom to be able to make more money, like all of us. Imagine if you didn't need a website designer to do this for you. You could use this AI that's $39 a month and you just do it for 1 month and you're done, right? Then you have a working knowledge of like, oh, how do I edit my website in the back end? Or even ChatGPT can tell you, I do this all the time. I'll take a screenshot of my WordPress site. Like if I'm trying to change a button or figure out how to do something, you just put a screenshot into ChatGPT and say, how do I change the font on this page? And it'll say, oh, go here, click here, click here. And that's how you do it because it can see the inside of it and it already knows how to edit that stuff. It already knows about WordPress, obviously without me even telling you. And you could say, you're the world's best website designer. What would you do to make this like super trendy? You could even use the deep research button that comes on the new ChatGPT. If you had the papers and they've got this deep research that you put in what you're looking for, and it's going to do deep research. So it's going to go out into the internet, get all kinds of sources, and then ready for you. I just used deep research for a blog post I did yesterday, which I was going to talk about today, but then I got so excited about this, I got distracted. So maybe I'll tell you about that next week, how to use deep research to help you write really source driven blog posts about different topics. I did it on all of the legislation that's happening right now with AI in the world. It's all AI facing and AI empowering and less regulations, which some people don't like, some people do like. I personally like it, obviously. So anyway, I'm excited, you guys. Every week is something new, a new tool to make our lives easier, to help us be, great clinicians and run like super efficient businesses, which is what I'm all about. You guys know I live in Airbnbs. I make different town like every week. Right now I'm in Chesapeake, Virginia, my sister's house. And I'm going to get to spend the rest of the day with her, where probably I would have spent a week trying to get this offer like together and get somebody to put it on my website and this whole thing, but I didn't have to because there. There's an application already created. They just click through, fill out the application. I get an email notification that somebody's filled it out, and if they're appropriate for it, I say, here's the payment link. Just go pay on PayPal or whatever funnel you want to use. ChatGPT can help you do that too. Like, how do I collect money? And yeah, just like that. So it's very exciting. If you watch this later and you have any questions, let me know. You guys probably know I'm the clinical consultant for Berries for product development. We do have something cool coming. I'm actually going to be hosting, you guys are the first to hear this. I'm going to be hosting a new podcast for Berries, and this is going to be like clinician facing, and it's going to be other clinicians that are doing like really innovative things, not AI things necessarily, but just innovative things in the therapy world. We have a professor from Harvard lined up already. We have a couple of other like really amazing guests lined up. So I'm excited about that. I don't know when it's going to launch. I'm thinking maybe June, because we need to get some episodes under like our belt before we could actually launch a podcast. But yeah, so that's coming. Very excited about that. And there's some really innovative tools coming with Berries too that I'll probably be able to tell you about next week once it's launched. I think next week or the week after it's going to launch this really awesome new feature. So anyway, and if you're wondering, that's heyberries.com/therapist. If you haven't used Berries yet, it's the best AI note taker out there, if I do say so myself. All right. Well, I hope you guys have a great week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.